The Masters of Wisdom speak on the Receptive Consciousness. The Bridge to Freedom Journal, June 1952. Lord Mahachohan. The truth never changes. It is only the evolving consciousness of the individual which is enabled to discern greater or lesser detail in that truth which seems to indicate conflict. The capacity to perceive the true nature of God, His universe, and His creation is developed through the consecrated dedication of the life energy to such perception. Those individuals who have so consecrated their lives to a detailed, honest, persistent, and consecutive search for truth have come upon it. Some have graduated from the realm of the seekers and have become the authority, the law themselves. By merit, they are invested with the right to dispense truth to those interested in finding it. It is to these beings that mankind must look if they desire an applicable knowledge of the laws of universal life and progress and the way and means by which man may hasten his evolution through entering into the understanding and application of those laws. Ascended Master El Moira. It is apparent that the specialists in whom mankind put their faith and trust have dedicated a goodly portion of their lives and fortunes in the endeavor to understand the particular subject whose revelations they will incorporate in their chosen life work. These specialists form the directing authority in their chosen fields, and mankind rely upon their directives in their groping endeavors to maintain the body's life and the soul's hope. It is time now that the spiritual hierarchy who, through similar dedication of their life purpose, have become masters of particular aspects of God's expression, be brought to the attention of the thinking members of the human race and give their rightful positions as dispensers of truth, God directives of general progression toward race maturity. Ascended Master Kuthumi. The transference of consciousness from one mind to another is known as education. The full revealed truth remains ever present in the universal mind of God, but the individualized intelligence of God's children must reach into this great mind and incorporate into his own consciousness so much of the great all-truth as he has the capacity to absorb and realize. Every man dips into the well of knowledge with his own cup of receptivity and benefits by his capacity to receive. It is a spiritual communion. The teacher is one whose cup has grown through many trips to the well, and he gives of its brimming essence to those not yet able to reach the cosmic brim. Even in elemental courses of education, the teacher first fills his consciousness and then gently holds his cup of knowledge that the pupil may sip of its sweetness, become enamored of its essence, and return again to the teacher's fount, until perhaps they are among the very few who will join the teacher at the cosmic well. Those who will not drink are never increased in worth. Blessed be those who stir the spiritual hunger, and blessed be those who feed the hungry. Ascended Master Venetian. The sharing of individual consciousness is the sweet communion of true friendship and brotherhood. Those who have become the guardians and the teachers of the human race can only serve mankind as they can pour their understanding and knowledge of life and truth into the receptive consciousness of attentive men. Those who serve us must make mankind aware of our presence. We must first be accepted and acknowledged. Then, through the natural communion of our consciousness, will the universal brotherhood of free and aspiring beings be achieved. Ascended Master Serapis Bey. A bridge is a span which connects two separate forms. For God's mind and will and purpose to be effected in the world of men, those of us who are the bridge builders must create and sustain a link over which the God directives may enter the conscious minds of receptive men, without possibility of error and motivate their active expression of that divine will. The higher self of every man is one in consciousness with our service. But how many men have a constant and unbroken connection with that directive self? Until this millennium is achieved, the hierarchy must serve as the directors of the God will for evolving mankind. Everywhere we can convince a human being of our existence and authoritative power to help them, we have a potential span of our unifying energies, and across this electrical current we shall endeavor to send specific and powerful spiritual currents and radiation to strengthen our point of contact with the world of form. We are the bridge builders, and you are the focus of our endeavors to connect with the mind, the thought, the consciousness of all men. Ascended Master Hilarion. If the mind of man is not specifically acquainted with any subject, it does not exist for him. It does not live in his consciousness. Many individuals live and die without allowing the intricacies of calculus or Greek to enter their conscious minds or worlds. Others proceed without contact with spiritual values. The endeavor of true education is to stimulate interest on any given subject and precipitate the student into independent investigation when he has exhausted the known facts previously discovered in that particular subject. Among the many, very, very few choose to step into the unknown and force truth to draw back her veil, revealing more of the light of her presence upon his field of exploration. These few have been the benefactors of the race, and the great majority rest content in their hard-earned findings. Those who have gone far along the spiritual path have also left a heritage. Today their findings are the prized possessions of the few. One day their gifts will be the common heritage of all men. Ascended Master Jesus. The ceremony of communion was created to symbolize the conferring of the Christ consciousness of truth upon the disciple by the Master. Consciousness of one being enters the world of another through benediction, radiation, or through the individual mind by the avenue of the senses of sight, hearing, and thought transference, audible or silent. Man is constantly interchanging consciousness in daily living. It is the endeavor of the spiritual hierarchy to reach the consciousness of mankind and enrich the daily experience of life by such communion. Through the strength of the Christian dispensation, I have been particularly fortunate in the receptive consciousness of great numbers of the human race in my endeavors along this line. However, the gifts of the universal God mind are so infinite and so diversified that much of their blessings are denied expression through lack of recognition of my brothers and sisters who work hand in hand with me in God's kingdom. Would that the tenets of brotherhood which true Christians emulate in their earthly affairs could be incorporated into their tolerant acceptance of the divine brotherhood of the spiritual sons of heaven. Ascended Master Saint Germain. The participation of human beings in ceremonials designed to invoke and direct spiritual energies from the higher spheres into the atmosphere and consciousness of mankind forms one of the most powerful bridges over which spiritual stimuli may radiate into the affairs of men. These spiritual energies dissipate destructive forces and set up new causes which will have a beneficial effect upon evolving humanity and the planet itself. The designing of these magnetic ceremonials, the training of pupils who are particularly equipped to conduct these energies, and the gradual cultivation of a conscious association and dedication of personal energies among members of the human race, the angelic and devic kingdoms, and the master beings who are the authority over our universe, forms the particular service which it is my privilege to render to God through man. Ceremonial has been attacked as pagan worship, but the magnetizing of energies directed towards specific constructive service has been proven by science as of great import to the race. It is merely the intricacies of such magnetism that are not understood by the outer mind. Yet scientifically performed ceremonials are to become the religion of the new day, coupling spiritual and physical energies to good purpose.